Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What a weekend. The final round of the Vodacom United Rugby Championship, or the BKT United Rugby Championship, whichever you want to call it, wherever you are in the world. But this took place this weekend. We've got all 8 teams locked in. We know who the quarterfinals are. We know where they're playing, and what a dramatic weekend. It's lovely that it came down, the placings came down to the very last game, and that you've got to give credit to the teams for, and the league. But let's have a look. Let's have a look through what happened this weekend. We start off with just who's playing who this weekend. Then we'll go through the entire weekend as well. So keep on. There'll be some good, hopefully some footage that doesn't get copyright striked, and we can talk a bit about the games as well, and look forward to the quarterfinals and see how that's going to go. So keep it, watch it, and yeah, we'll go straight into it. So this is the quarterfinals. So first, the important part, who's going to play who in the quarterfinals. So there's, it's locked in there. That's the chart as it looks right now. Leinster hosting Scarlets, Glasgow hosting the Stormers, Sharks getting a home quarterfinal against Munster, and the Bulls playing Edinburgh. We'll speak individually about them, and we'll first go through what happened this week and how we got to that point. But I'll come back to this list again at the end of the video. So coming into the weekend's games, we had 5 teams who'd already confirmed their places in the top 8 in the quarterfinals. The 4 teams that got home quarterfinals, that's Leinster, the Bulls, Sharks, and Glasgow Warriors. They all got home quarterfinals, as we'll get to the times soon as well. The Stormers had also confirmed their places, their 5th place on the log. So what was left was places 6 to 8. And coming in, there was 5 teams looking for it. Scarlets played the Sharks. They went into a game in Durban. Benetton and Munster played each other. Cardiff went down to Cape Town to play the Stormers. And Edinburgh hosted Ulster in their backyard to look for that one of the spots there. So that was coming in. It was a dogfight, and not just that, there was also positions in the top 5 that would have changed as well. So a lot to play for in the weekend. Start off with the first game on Friday night. Stormers hosting Cardiff, and what a game for young Suleiman Hartzenberg. Really had a great game. His 50th game. He's only 21. Can you imagine what he's going to be like when he's 25, 26? He'll probably have 150 games under his belt by then. But what a performance there. And just let's have a look at one of his tries, and then listen to John Dobson afterwards about the victory.
Alex Mann got his hands on the ball, couldn't affect the turnover. Hartzenberg dummies. Hartzenberg goes, takes them all on. Hartzenberg is having his way in his 50th cap. He scores.
5-0.
Points to the tally.
They're on the short side. Numbers down. And look at that beautiful movement, beautiful stepping, beautiful agility. And the try on Hartzenberg. Again, overcommitting down that short side.
I think it's the most important thing right now. This guy was special. Gaza, it's incredible. Gaza last week got his 100th, and this guy, I think, he did 50 on 21, and then to play like he played. We're super proud. Look, he's got a mass. He's super. He's right next to me. No, you're brilliant.
But then, in a bit of a disaster, John Dobson's words, the Stormers lost Damien Willemse to a red card, and coming into the playoffs, it's going to be very difficult for them. They need a playmaker like him. Luckily, the Stormers have a lot of playmakers, but Damien's just been absolutely brilliant. Gaza's been playing amazing rugby the last couple of weeks since he's returned from injury. So, yeah, it's a bit of a blow for them. But let's have a look at the red card and tell me what you think.
Well,
he's coming back. Gianluca is coming back.
Yeah, it's not this one.
So
this is the one we judge it live.
the Italian referees are happy with this interaction, in spite of the consternation of Similani. But the head contact is what we're looking for here.
We go back on the head contact, Gianluca. Sorry for that.
Yeah, no problem.
And the question, Hanyani, yellow or red? I presume it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are, number 15.
And the thing is, yeah, Willemse, it's difficult to get square on when you try to shadow D. That's the thing.
Okay, Andreas, so we have contact with the head, yes. Contact with the head, yes. We have foul play because 15 is upright.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I think he even turns his head there because he knows
High degree of danger for me because we have a direct contact with the head.
Correct.
And just play it at live speed to see if there is any mitigation, because the only one we might maybe consider is a possible drop in height after he passed the ball.
Last chance saloon for Willemse, looking for any mitigation.
I don't see any clear mitigation
No,
to look for me.
I don't see any clear drop
And there's
in
no,
height by
there's no
number
wrap, and
by
there's
the
no
ball
wrap as
carrier.
well.
So we don't have any mitigation. So for me, it's a red card against number 15. Do you agree?
Agree with that.
Okay.
No wrap as well.
Number 15, same as first half. So high tackle, direct contact with the head, which is making the degree of danger is high, and there is no clear mitigation. So it's a red card, same as first half.
Because he's passive, he's holding, he's not really going for it.
It's not passive,
Okay.
on my view.
Okay.
I think that the mitigation there would be that Willems
So
is
try
almost,
stance?
he's in a almost shadow defense or holding defense pattern. Then you're going backwards at a 45. You're not going
Try stance?
forward and trying to
Yes,
make
it's
the
a
hit.
blue
That's the
kick off.
difference between the two tackles. It's a pity because Willems was having a blinder.
Guys,
As you can see from those visuals, it wasn't really a surprise that it was a red card, to be very honest, from my point of view. I think players know nowadays what gets red cards, and while it's unfortunate, and he was just in a bad position, and he left in the lurch, obviously, by the Zas on his inside, and he tried to turn in. The unfortunate thing is the picture that the referee saw wasn't a very good one, and that's going to hurt them in the quarterfinals. They need somebody like Damien Willemse in Glasgow to help them play Glasgow. It's a disaster, but let's see what John Dobson's reaction was to that.
Stephen.
Domo, obviously Gaza has a potential disaster. I mean, he was absolutely at his best today at fullback until he went. So what's your thought on, firstly, the decision, and obviously the implications of this? I would imagine we would mount a strong defence.
Yeah, we'll mount our best defence. Look, I haven't seen it, enough to comment on what the impact of Zassi's tackle is, if you know what I mean. So I don't know, maybe you guys have seen it better, but I don't know if it's enough. It was our fault. Gaza wasn't released from the inside by you're dead right, James, by Zassi, and then he was stuck, and he turned. So I don't think he was trying to hit with the shoulder; he was trying to turn it. But it's the implications are particularly, I'm sure, are going to be poor for us. I've got no doubt.
Can you appeal on that, Tomo?
Well, we can't appeal until there's actually this decision. We can decide if we're going to wait for them to give us a ruling, or do we go straight to a judicial officer. I think if we go straight to judicial officer, we've got more chance of a better sort of sanction, but there'll be a sanction. I don't see them overturning that unless Zassi's clearly caused the height to come down, which sounds like it's grey. I mean, I haven't seen it really. It sounds like it's a joke. Is it grey?
So that was Friday night's first game, and the aftermath of that. Then Benetton played Munster in the winner takes it all, because whoever lost that game was basically out, and it was quite a cracker. And Munster first half were behind, second half stormed back to win the game and booked their place in the top 8. The one highlight from the game was this wonderful try by Reno Smith. I thought you should highlight that one because it really was a great try from him.
Okay.
Brilliant response from Benetton from that scrum. No, they're staying down now.
The first part works out favourably for Benetton. Comfortable take by Federico Ruzza, who wears the captain's armband this evening. Garbisi now. So many options. Nacho Brex pulls it out the back. Umanga, huge amount of space for Rhino Smith, and that's a lovely strike play. Simple.
Listen, you often see teams just try and set target, but they pull the trigger, and it's just actually not taking the ball.
One good point that came out of the game, this was assigned by Peter Mahoney's mother, and he obviously retired from the game. It was his last home game in Cork, and the sign, of course, got quite a bit of attention, but well done, and a good reminder that there's life after rugby, even if it's mowing lawn. Edinburgh needed a bonus point win in their game against Ulster, and they got it, and sneaked in the back door there. There's the last side that you'd expect to do it, but they put up some real fighting performances, and great for Sean Everett, although a trip to Loftus seems a very daunting one for them, and the Bulls will be relishing that, especially after Edinburgh won the EPCR Challenge Cup quarterfinal clash there. So the Bulls will be looking for a bit of revenge there as well. But how's this one from Darcy Graham? What a try.
Difficult one for Fuson to take, but didn't he take it well? Now heading the line goes Darcy Graham. You can't catch him. You will not stop him. Darcy Graham goes all the way. That he scored for his country.
That's a bit of a sucker punch, isn't it? For Ulster, they did so well to disrupt the Edinburgh line out.
Then it was off to Loftus, where the Bulls obviously had a big game, a lot of emotion this week with Cornel Hendrick's death, and a lot to play for. And of course, after they're playing the Dragons, who were last on the log, so not much was expected. And the Bulls didn't disappoint. They put the emotion behind them, and they got out there, and they played pretty decently to record the 5 points they needed, secured second spot, and a home quarterfinal and semi-final if they get that far. But just a great performance by them. Yeah, we're going to listen to, first of all, Jake White on the game, and then the man of the match, Naba, who had a barnstorming game after not being playing for a long time. So well done to them.
Yeah, fantastic for him. And he's happy too, considering that he's never played with this group of players. You know, we're very lucky. We've got Marcel Coetzee, who's been in man of the match in a URC game. And we've got Marco van Staden, who's a World Cup winner, playing in the same position as he's playing. So it is one area where we are very, very fortunate that we've got a lot of depth in that position. But it's not gonna count against him that he's done so well in a game like this. You know, playing with those guys, the first time he's played in those combinations. He started for us in the very first game of the year against Edinburgh, and that was without the Springboks because they were away. So, you know, part of my chat to him when he missed out on the tour was, you'll get a chance, and you get a proper chance, and you'll play with combinations, not always makeshift combinations. So I'm very happy for him. I'm, as I said, man of the match, and he did all the things I expected of him. He didn't try and do everything on his own or try and win every single turnover, because he's good at it. But in the first game, he gave 4 or 5 penalties away when I put him on. So I'm glad that he's obviously understood what his role was.
Hey guys, it's Nama Kaba here. Firstly, we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who came out today at Loftus to support us. Yeah, it's been an emotional week for each and every player, member of staff, and I'm sure for you guys as well. Cornel Hendricks meant a lot to every one of us. So we just wanted to come out today, play with the same energy and just like enthusiasm for life that he has. And I think we're able to do that, yeah. So we'll catch you guys in the quarterfinals. Come, let's fill up Loftus, and yeah, let's go. Thank you.
The Lions managed to end off their season on a high with a last-minute, last gasp try after the hooter to Dobela. A really fine prospect for the future, but I think anybody will realise that this season's been such a disappointment for the Lions. There's going to be a lot of introspection in the off-season and a lot to talk about, whether there should be some changes there. I'm not sure, but at least they finished off the season on a high. And let's have a look at the try that won them the game. Certainly a fine effort after the hooter.
Penalty advantage. Horn onto the short side. A high tackle. Dobena, did he get it? TMO to be called upon. And the wish of those local fans is a try be awarded. Lubabalo Dobena.
And if it could have been anyone else, for the Emirates Lions, it had to be him. They need someone to take over from Sanene Nohamba, from Gianni Lombard, who's been excellent. They need to start bringing in some fresh blood, and he's been excellent in the past 20 minutes.
Elsewhere in the game, that didn't really matter much, didn't have any effect on the log really. Connacht finished off their season with a win over Zebre. They'll be happy with that, but not a very good season for Connacht. So not really a game that really troubled too many people there, but good for Connacht to get a win right at the end. Then it was off to Durban, where the Scarlets and the Sharks were playing. The Scarlets had to get a losing bonus point to move into 7th spot, otherwise they would end up 8th. If they won, they could go quite a bit higher, and the Sharks, quite a lot of permutations on where the Sharks would end and where they would go. But it wasn't a great game to watch. Really, nothing stood out. It was a tight game. Both sides made lots of errors. There was a good shift by Eben Etzebeth. Really showed his worth again. We all know his quality. But at the end, Apalele Fase kicked a penalty right at the end to take the losing bonus point away from them, which means they didn't go to Loftus, and now we'll have to go to Leinster. And while that sounds daunting for any team, you must remember that Scarlets did beat Leinster a couple of weeks ago. Although it was a second team and was in Wales, they certainly won't lack confidence going into this game. But let's listen to John Dobson. Did get some audio from the Sharks on what he thought of the game, and this was his reaction.
Yeah, I don't think it was there was a lack of us trying or our intent around what we were trying to do. It was more around just our accuracy, So, the first, with a lot of lineouts in the game, we had a lot, and particularly around the first 30 minutes, we had a lot of possession, a lot of territory, but we couldn't build any pressure with the ball, So there was just too many mistakes, too many basic mistakes, and it got pretty frustrating for the boys, I think. And it didn't sort of looked almost like no matter how hard we tried, nothing was going well. And then it became looked like the defences were just dominating the attack, both sides of the ball really. Both teams, it looked like that, and didn't look like there was much space. And again, you're playing in these dewy conditions that we have here, so it wasn't much of a game of rugby, to be honest.
Off it was to the last game of the day and the last game of the weekend. The last game of the group phase, or the league phase, should I say. Leinster hosting Glasgow. Considering Leinster smashed Glasgow 52-0 in the Champions Cup a couple of weeks ago. This was a big test for Franco Smith's team. Not a great game to watch, I'd be very honest. But Glasgow certainly made it uncomfortable for Leinster, even though they won in the end. By losing that game, it meant the Sharks could leapfrog them into 3rd spot. Glasgow ends up 4th, and the Bulls 2nd. So good for South Africa, but Glasgow will on a collision course now to play Leinster again if they get to the semi-final, if they beat the Stormers. So a lot to talk about there. So not the greatest game, but let's hear from Leo Cullen about what he thought about the match.
Tap and go, and O'Brien in the corner.
Yes, Finton Gunn taking it quickly, and it's a brilliant delayed pass, pull-back pass that gave Prendergast so much time.
That does not look steady. Free is the decision. Gunn takes it quickly. Barrett pulls it back. Prendergast, this time Jimmy O'Brien, and that will surely stand. Leinster.
Leo, much closer affair than same opposition a few weeks ago. What your overall take?
Yeah, obviously, Glasgow kicked off, and first 20 minutes we didn't really have a huge amount of ball, did we? They created opportunities. Yeah, they're a dangerous team, as we know. They didn't really front up here realistically when they played us a few weeks ago. So you get a sense from them even in the warm up. Very focused, and you can see they're up for the physical challenge, definitely. But we weathered the storm pretty well, I thought, in the first 20 minutes, and eventually we get in for a try after the previous one got chalked off. So we did a good bit of pressure then ourselves in that period, which I thought we did okay job in the start of the second half, keeping the pressure on them and generally playing the game in the right areas. And you could see they were, as I said, they were well up, fill the front line, and they made life difficult for us. And we just maybe had some chances where we didn't quite execute, misfired a couple of lineouts maybe as well. Actually, there was that one where Sam's nearly in the corner. There was, tackle infringement, backs encroaching off a lineout drive as well. Then they obviously hit us with a try in the breakaway, so then it's 10-5, and it gets a bit jittery then, which was good to see us come through that. So, definitely learn more from those tight games, I think, because it's more realistic to playoff games. Good to come through it, to kick the penalty at the end, and deal with the restart and deal with the end of the game. So it's not bad practice for knockout games. So listen, overall it's a win. Listen, used a lot of players, I think, during the course of this campaign, which is good. Finish on top of the log. It doesn't obviously mean anything, bar you've home advantage. So Glasgow finished 4th last year, so they finished 4th again. So they'll be happy that their route to the final was home win, away win in Ireland, away win in South Africa. So they'll probably mapping that out for themselves. They're the champions, so they're still the team to beat. Even Munster the year before obviously won the tournament from 5th place, I think, did they? So listen, it's a seeding exercise at the end of the day. A lot of work goes into getting to this point. What's the reward for us is, hopefully we get good crowds. Listen, we've had unbelievable support all season, literally from season tickets all the way through. And I know it's a little bit alien this time of year, playing rugby in obviously end of May into June pretty soon. So listen, hopefully we get big support, and that makes a real difference for us, as a club. So plenty of talk obviously about that over the last while, but it does make a difference. So hopefully we get a big crowd. And listen, I know there was a lot of frustration after our performance in the Champions Cup semi-finals, and listen, the group is focused to try and make that right. So we get another opportunity to play in a knockout game. Scarlets, obviously we lost over there a couple of weeks ago, so that wasn't a great couple of weeks for us, was it? When you think Scarlets losing away to losing the following week here, so anyway, we get a chance to put that right, as I said, and but it's about how we prepare now and put in a big train well next week to give ourselves a good chance the week after.
You can probably see from that that there is quite a bit of tension there in Dublin at the moment. I think if Leinster don't win the URC, Leo Cullen might be under a lot of pressure to keep his job. There's certainly an expectation that they should go through and win this. Can't blame them given the squad they have and the personnel they have, and they certainly have dominated the URC the whole season. So if it's the 4th year in a row that they don't get to the final, they don't win a trophy, you can imagine that there's going to be some sort of repercussions there. Saying that it is, it's still going to be a great quarterfinal. Let's have a look again at those quarterfinals quickly, and then I'd like to hear your comments on who do you think is going to make it through to the semis. Just to recap again on all those results, for those who want to have a check again, a lot of results there. I think not too many surprises. I think the Lions one was probably from outside the top 8. I think the Benetton Munster game was probably the best one of the rest. Of course, the Bulls overcoming all that emotion surrounding Cornel Hendricks' death. Then a recap, the first quarterfinal, Leinster playing Scarlets. Leinster will be heavily favoured there, even though Scarlets won the last game between the two sides. Glasgow hosting the Stormers. A tough one for the Stormers, especially without Damien Willemsen. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects them. They're also not a team that really plays well away from home, so they need to get that bogey off their backs. Sharks hosting Munster. The Sharks certainly can look forward to, I think, a good win there. Munster haven't been the same as they were, but these are knockout games. You have to turn up and you have to pitch for the games. And then the Bulls playing Edinburgh. Bulls will be looking forward to that one to get some revenge on what happened in the EPCR Challenge Cup. They left their run too late, and after a poor first half, they could have won that game, and they'll feel they owe Edinburgh one. So that's a wrap, guys, for the weekend. That's the last round of the URC this year. We'll have a week off now, the Champions Cup and the EPCR Challenge Cup finals of this week. So all the focus will be on them for the next 7 days. And then we'll go into the quarterfinal, the playoff mode for the URC. It's hard to believe we're already at this point, but what's it, 7-8 months of competition gone behind us. So let me know what you think, who you think is going to make that semi-final. Leave it in the comments, and if there's anything else you want me to do a video on, let me know. I'll always have a look at the comments and do that. But thanks for watching. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Chat to you soon. Cheers.